introduce our next speaker. It's Lisa Morrison. Lisa is the admin of the NI Teachers Collaborate page on Facebook and Twitter. On Facebook, in just the space of a few months, it reached almost 11,000 members. So Lisa is going to talk us through how this initiative came about and what it can offer to teachers here. So Lisa, over to you.
Hi everybody, my name's Lisa. I'm one of 6 people who work on the administration of the Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate Facebook group. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to David and Peter for inviting us on here tonight and giving us the opportunity to share our story at NI Teachers Collaborate. Just a wee quick bit of background as to how the group came about. I'm actually a biology teacher and so have followed the science behind the pandemic really closely. So in July, when the World Health Organization announced the transmission of COVID-19 was aerosol rather than droplet, I sort of knew then that we were in for a lot of disruption in the incoming academic year and probably further into the future. So during lockdown, like everybody else, I was trying to teach from home and I was so disappointed with my lessons. I just felt I didn't, as a teacher, have the skills to deliver interesting lessons and engaging lessons online, and found myself uploading worksheets and PowerPoints to deliver content. But if I'd have been a pupil sitting at home looking at my lessons, they would not have motivated or inspired me to want to learn. So the first few weeks in lockdown, I spent a lot of time teaching myself Google Classroom. We'd previously in our school used Moodle, Fronter, other platforms. But as we entered lockdown, the decision was taken that we would use Google Classroom as it, was more intuitive for the children. So fast forward to July, when the World Health Organization made their announcement, and I thought, well, we're going to be having to teach in some form like this at some point over the next year or so. So I realized if I'm struggling with this approach to delivering lessons, then other people are too. Just want to show you a wee quick video that we made early doors to explain what NI Teachers Collaborate is about. So as you can see, since the 11th of July, when I set up the group one Saturday night, we've achieved quite a lot. My experience of teachers in Northern Ireland has always been that there's great collaboration between teachers in this country. I've learned personally so much from other teachers in my profession who've been there, done that, and who are willing to share their experience, knowledge and skills. I worked once with a vice principal. His name was Wilson, a very wise man, and he once said to me, if you can make a difference, Lisa, today to one child's life, in 100 years, that kindness will have been passed on to many more people in their community. Unfortunately, teaching, I think, is a very busy profession, quite an isolated profession, and often we just don't have time to share with our colleagues when we're in the academic year, and that's sad. The shared education programme, in my school, we work with 2 other schools, and it has worked really well. Certainly with the science department that I'm in, we've shared resources, we've shared information, we've had children working collaboratively on the new A-level Life and Health Science qualification, and it's been great. But given that what we have, or what I've seen from working with other schools and through work that I do for SIA, I knew that if I could get a few teachers together, that we would share whatever we knew and whatever we'd learned during lockdown. So I set up the Facebook group and invited about 40 people that I knew personally from across Northern Ireland to share ideas and best practice. So within a few days, the numbers had gone up sort of 100, 200, and I thought, oh, I'm a wee bit out of my depth here in terms of just knowing how to administer a Facebook group and knowing how to set up Twitter feed, etc. So I'm lucky to work with very like-minded people, and I invited Carol, Glenn, Jamie, John and Karen to come onto the group and help me admin. And being the people that they are, kind, caring, dedicated teachers, they said no problem, not a bother, and on they came and helped me to admin and set up things like the Twitter feed, the Facebook, or the website, etc., and the YouTube channel. Between us, we've created videos and stuff. And I just want to show you a few things that I took off the Facebook group just yesterday. You can see that we have people asking questions. Some people don't like to ask the questions themselves, and they'll email me and I will ask the questions. But we've had so many teachers sharing their resources. We've had teachers setting up subgroups for subject-specific areas. We've had teachers setting up subgroups for the substitute teachers. They've shared hundreds of resources and really excellent knowledge on how to do things. But for me, I think perhaps the most important outcome is that it's given us a place as teachers to chat and ask for support. And Richard spoke earlier about stupid questions, and I am a great advocate of stupid questions. Nobody knows everything, and in this time we're all learning and we're all treading water and trying to get by. So if you look at the group, you know, somebody asks a question, within minutes they'll get a response. Sometimes people put up a joke or an inspirational quote to keep each other going, and I think right now that's something that we all need, a wee bit of humour. Northern Irish humour does no harm. So no matter what query someone will have, an answer will be forthcoming from someone in the group. I think the group is really reflective of the kind and caring and compassionate nature of the teaching population in Northern Ireland. To be honest, I'm in awe of the members of the group. I just think the collaboration has been phenomenal. Personally, I've gained so much from the group. It's been great to ask others what's going on in their schools, how we can do different things differently under the public health advice. For me personally, it's been great to connect with other science departments and see how they're managing practical work, and it's given me the reassurance to keep doing what I would normally do in my classroom, but just in a different and safer way. I think in Northern Ireland, we all recognise the importance of the job we do, and we want to get this right for the young people in Northern Ireland. It's a challenging time for everybody in our wee country, as we talk about, and we want to get it right. We've been very fortunate in the group that we've had input from the Education Minister, other members of the Education Committee, the Education Authority, SIA and C2K. We've had representatives from all those organisations come onto the group and give help and advice. We're also incredibly grateful for the input from our local universities, but in particular for the support from Stromness University College, who agreed to partner with us, offering the time and skill of Celia O'Hagan as our blended learning advisor. And Celia has been interacting with the group on a regular basis since it's sort of the end of July. Their support from Stromness has been incredible, and we really are grateful. I just want to show you a couple of wee video clips now of two teachers who have used the group and what they have said about it.
The new Facebook collaboration group has been both a source of comfort and support during times when perhaps we've all felt a little bit isolated. Our learning curve has been so steep and we've had so much of the unknown around us. In terms of support, I personally have downloaded many videos, whether it be subject specific resources I've used or little aids and tips in terms of blended learning. It's been a sense of comfort to know that other people are going through exactly what we are and that we can ask those questions and they get answered pretty much immediately. Even today there was a post by someone just saying, take it easy on yourself, take the pressure off, it's not a normal teaching year. And I was feeling quite stressed at one stage, and just by reading that it made me feel relaxed. So it's the whole ease and simplicity of the Facebook group which I think is a credit to its organisers, and thank you very much.
Hi everyone, I just wanted to jump on quickly and say how brilliant Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate has been and how useful it has been to somebody who has recently graduated and is a newly qualified teacher. I first found out about NITC through Facebook, through a colleague of mine, and the amount of different teachers, resources, tips and just general help has been overwhelmingly great. It has been amazing to see and connect with so many different teachers, help with resources, help with videos, help with just even staff development, working together. It's just been really, really useful. One of the other major points has been the use of the shared drives for subject-specific groups, such as, you know, for me specifically, business studies, business communication systems, learning for life and work, all those subjects. And it's great to see so many staff sharing resources from so many different schools and backgrounds. Personally for me, I work currently in a non-selective school in Bangor, and I have certainly taken great use of using Northern Ireland Teachers Collaborate, and in terms of the resources as well, it's just been great. So long may it continue, and thank you to everyone who set it up.
So as you can see, I think people have found the group really useful. I truly believe that what we have done and what the members of the group have done over the last few months will ensure that the young people here in Northern Ireland have the best chance of succeeding in their education despite being in the middle of a global pandemic. Every teacher here in this country and every educational professional across Northern Ireland wants that for the children, and I truly believe that it's what they deserve.
But Lisa, thank you very much. That was great. So it was interesting you were talking about learning sort of new skills. I mean, surely that's exactly, you've been chucked into being a pupil again. What have you learned that you maybe would bring to your teaching from this whole episode?
You know, I'm ashamed to say that I hadn't been using technology in the classroom maybe perhaps the way I would or should. I did a qualification in ICT about 11 years ago and then really never embedded it into my teaching properly. So I've had to learn very quickly, and I've learned a lot. I've learned, you know, how to deliver online, how to keep the pedagogy correct online, how to keep the children engaged. I work in a non-selective school, and a lot of our children would require quite a lot of support in a class setting. And I suppose what I've learned is that that can be done without being in the same room as those children. We would use in school Google Meets to have one-to-ones with children who are isolating or self-isolating at home because of the pandemic. And you know, Google Classroom that we're using in school is great for allowing children to communicate with each other and communicate with their teachers. Maybe a wee bit too much sometimes. I think their demands on when we should be available have changed, but I've just learned so much. I think the core thing for me is get the teaching right and then use a few bits of technology to make it a wee bit more engaging.
Brilliant.